Hey guys, Sak here from Saki Tech, and in today's video we are going to be talking about 5 reasons the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra destroys the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Both of these smartphones are high-level and expensive smartphones, but when you buy the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, you get more features for your money, more bang for your buck. And in this video, we are going to detail 5 things that iPhone 14 Pro Max can only dream about. So let's dive in. Alright, so the very first thing I want to talk about is the display. Now, if you look in the middle, you'll see we have an iPhone 13 Pro Max. That's the S22 Ultra. That's the 14 Pro Max. First, I want to give a quick credit to the iPhone. It has finally gotten rid of that ultra ugly notch that belongs in the Ice Age. So in my opinion, this is more futuristic looking and it's more cleaner. Now let's get this out of the way and talk about these two guys. Now, despite the fact that the notch now looks a little bit better, this one here is still far superior. And it matters specifically when you're watching movies in full screen or playing games in full screen. Now, some people are going to say this one has Face ID system, so that's why it's so big. But look at what we have here. We have an under-display fingerprint sensor that's hiding under the display. I can just click this to log in. And then we have the camera on the top. Here we have the camera and the Face ID system. But as far as enjoying media, consuming media is concerned, the S22 Ultra just destroys the iPhone 14 Pro Max. That large pill does get in the way when you're watching a video or a movie, as long as they're playable in the full screen format, and also when you're playing games. The pill cutout that is probably 7 to 8 times larger than the hole cutout bites into the real estate and takes away from the available real estate. So you can see as I'm playing this video and also showing examples of games playing, the big difference between the two. Imagine having a high-definition TV that had a large pill-shaped cutout right on the corner. Of course, this one has a smaller hole, but it certainly is much less intrusive than this guy. It takes away from the available screen real estate and makes chunks of videos and games disappear. So that's going to be number one. I do believe the overall design and shape is more futuristic and clean looking here and better suited for media consumption. Now, another reason the Samsung Galaxy demolishes the iPhone here is the S Pen. So included in the price of your purchase, you get an S Pen that's built into your phone. It's at the bottom right here. So press and it comes right out, as you can see. As soon as it comes out, it also gives you options to do many things. Now, first I'm going to show you something really cool that I like to use personally all the time, and that is the air actions. So this pen is connected to this phone via Bluetooth, so I can use this little pencil to control this device remotely. Let me show you one quick example. For example, if I'm in the gallery application, I can press the button and it'll go forward through my pictures. If I double tap it, it's going to come back. Okay, so that's the previous one. Next, previous when you double tap. So that's happening remotely, and I can use the Bluetooth range, so I can go across the room and still do this, which means I can even give a presentation with this phone using this as the remote control. And then let's say I'm playing music on the phone, and again, let's say I'm throwing a party and using this as my media hub. I can use this pen from a distance to play, pause, go to the next track. So look, pause, it just pauses it. That's using Bluetooth connection. Play. So I can play and pause music using this pen. I can also go to the next track, double tap, and it goes to the next track. Of course, that's not everything the S Pen can do. And again, all this is including in the purchase price. If I bring up the Air Command menu, for example, let's say I want to create a note. I just click over here, and I can start to write on it. Okay. Now, if my phone is turned off, and I'm outside somewhere, I want to take a quick note, I can press the button, tap on the screen, and I can actually start to write on the screen, on the lock screen, without having to log into the phone. These are great for quick notes. Look at how amazing that looks. I can even change the color, so I can go to yellow. Look at this. And I don't want to be too harsh on the iPhone. Literally no other phone can do it the way Samsung does. Now, some people might say this is a gimmick, but you can draw this right on your phone with the S Pen. That's how precise it is with all the options that are available to you. Of course, I have no skill, so I'm not going to show you anything that I can do. That is a powerful feature. Remote control, sketching, taking notes, even navigating your phone with this thing right here. And it's housed inside the actual smartphone. So let's talk about number 3. So this is even crazier than the S Pen. There is a built-in computer in this phone that I can wirelessly project onto a high-definition TV or to my computer or any monitor. And I can do it wirelessly or wired. In this example, I'm going to show you the wireless version. So basically what you do is you go to your settings, okay? And then of course we have a whole bunch of advanced features. And then here's Samsung DeX. That's the computer that's in this phone. It says get a full desktop interface. So I'm going to tap on turn on and look at what happens. As soon as I do that, it's going to say it found a TV. I'm going to tap on cancel for now, but it's going to find any TV that is wirelessly compatible. And basically these days, all TVs are smart TVs, so it can connect this basically to any TV. So now when I click on this guy and tap on start, take a look at what happens. It is connected to the TV. The TVs, there are some changes. You can see Samsung DeX just popped up right there. Now here's the funny part. I can connect a keyboard and a mouse via Bluetooth to this guy, and I can start using that as a computer, or at the bottom corner, I can tap on this guy right here, and that is going to activate the trackpad. Now I can use the trackpad, and look at that. I have a little mouse or a pointer, and I can go over and I can access various areas. And this is all going to act like a computer. So it's not going to be like a phone. It is just giving me a desktop-like interface. As you can see, I can have multiple windows. I can just move these around as I please. I can even use swipe gestures like this to go back and forth, even play the games that are on my phone, or watch videos if that's what I want to do, okay? And I'm doing that just by using this as a trackpad, but I can also connect a wireless keyboard and wireless mouse. Let me go back to cancel this, but it is projecting it right now. Again, you can do this wired, wirelessly to any PC, monitor, and even a computer. Included in the price of the phone, there is nothing like this on the iPhone, nothing comparable. Now, another reason the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra destroys the iPhone is the fact that this can do multitasking while this cannot, even though it has a more powerful processor. So let me go to a website. Let's go to Samsung.com, Apple.com here. So you can only have one app on the screen at all times. So with this one, let's say I was reading something and I want to do some research and I needed to use a calculator. I can easily start multitasking by tapping this button here and then tapping over here and saying split screen multitasking. And then from the apps, I can pick the calculator. And now as I reference my numbers, I can do the calculation at the bottom right here, okay? So that is very useful. There are ways to modify this. I can tap in the middle here. I can even switch these back and forth. Or if I just want to use a calculator and forget about this one, after I'm done my research, I can just swipe this down. Now I'm back to the regular screen. And I can do that with any application. So if I come here, let's say I'm using the calculator and I'm using something else. Let's just pick the settings application, modifying some settings over here as I'm using the calculator or whatever. Just another example of multitasking. At the bottom, I'm watching YouTube. On the top, I could be doing something else. Calculator, browsing, that's all going to be up to you. I'm just showing you guys some examples. The combinations are unlimited. While I'm doing this, I can do even more. So take a look at this. I'm going to swipe this down. By the way, you can resize it in any way that you want. But I'm going to tap over here. I'm going to say pop-up view. So now my calculator is a pop-up view, just like a Windows computer or an Apple Mac computer. And I can put this here. I can tap here. I can minimize it. And that I can have on the corner sitting right there. Now I can launch the calendar. I can tap over here. Tap here for multitasking. And now I can do multitasking and have a calculator over here available at a tap. Boom, 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 boom. When I'm done, put it aside again over there, okay? The iPhone has a stronger processor than the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, but it still cannot do that's been on Samsung and Android phones for many, many years. Alright, so the very next reason is deep customization that's available on the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. So let me show you what I'm talking about. You can have gorgeous screens just like this one as your lock screen on the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. That is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to show you guys 5 more so you understand what I'm talking about. Now here's another one. Beautiful video wallpaper for the lock screen. Again, you cannot do this on the iPhone. Alright, so here we have another one. So let me go to the lock screen, show it to you again. Look at that. Beautiful. By the way, when you tap and hold, you can see the whole wallpaper through its entirety. Alright, so that's beautiful. Gives you deep levels of customization. I'll show you one more. This happens to be one of my favorites. Look at this. Bam! Beautiful. Alrighty. And then one final example, which is this one right here. Look at that. If you don't care about stuff like this, I get it, but this is very important for some people. Now, the iPhone has an always-on display now. If you have an iPhone 14 Pro Max, if you go to the settings, and if you scroll down to display and brightness, you can see that you can turn it on and off. So I can have it off, or I can have it on, and there's really not much else I can do with it. When you go to the lock screen, basically, that's what you get. Whatever background you have dims, and the clock kind of stays in the forefront. If you have any widgets, they'll show up too. So it is not bad, but that's all there is to it. Now on Samsung, I can go to the settings. I can scroll over to lock screen. And then when I go to the always on, there are so many things here you can do. You can just turn it off as usual. You can just tap to show, so you don't have to see it all the time. You can show it always, show it as scheduled. And also, when it comes to customization, you can tap on the clock style, and you can pick from all kinds of different things. So let me just go to select clock. Let's say I want to pick a clock unique to the always on display. I tap on this guy, and then I can install the clock face application, and I have access to all these clock faces that I can have on my always on display. Alrighty. This is called customization. So for example, let's just pick this one right here. I'm going to say OK. Alright, so that's going to load up right there. I can go back and tap on done. It's going to be right there. I'm going to tap on done. Now when I double tap to make the phone sleep, it is going to bring up the always on display. And compared to the iPhone, it's actually dimmer. But here's another angle so you can see exactly what it looks like. Now I can also go to the image clock, for example, and I can go to my gallery and pick an actual image from my gallery to put inside that always on display. So it shows up right there. I can even resize this, fit it into that triangle, tap on done, and now let me show you what that looks like in an always on display setting. Now that right there is in fact true customization. You can have any photo that you want on the background right there on your always on display. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down below. Let me know. For now, guys, have a fantastic day.